we're going to have a lot of improvement, and for Chris Olave, Rashid
Yeah.
Shaheed to step up their game and start playing at the next level, because a good receiver being friendly to the quarterback, getting open, making 50 catches can make a decent quarterback good and a good quarterback great. So, like, what if I know the depth isn't there at wide receiver? So talk a little bit about the depth, but those two top guys that we have to rely on, like, what have you seen from them? Do you see glimpses that, yeah, these guys can take that next step to be true number ones, true really good receivers in the NFL?
Yeah, I've always felt Chris is there. I think he has that kind of talent to be really. It's just being on the healthy and getting the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Shaheed is obviously a different player right now. I think you obviously see the steps. I'd call him the MVP of camp, like, easily. He's gained a little bit of muscle, gained a little bit of weight, and you actually, we talk about that stuff every year, but like, he's visibly different. And the thing is, like, it stands out too, like, when you watch videos of him, because if you can't see the number clearly, videos too zoomed out, you're always looking, is that Chris or is that Rashid? And it's like, all right, Chris has the armband on, and that becomes the identifier. Shaheed's body just looks different now. Like, he's a more built out guy, and I think that's going to open up other areas of the field for him. If he stays healthy, I think he's going to have, relative to the opportunities, I think he's going to have a monster year. I think both those guys look great. I think Cooks looks okay in what he's going to be doing. Man, I'm reluctant to drink the Mason Tipton Kool-Aid again, but he's looked awesome out here at this camp. We kind of got to see that one in games. I think these tight ends are going to have, like, every opportunity in the world to be, really productive in this offense. I don't know if they're going to be able to step up or not, but it does look like they are going to play a conservative brand of football. I don't think they want them to take too many risks. I think there's going to be a lot of passes to the flats to these tight ends. Like, that's what we're seeing out here. To this point, I think they've done a good job taking advantage. Trayton Welch is maybe a sleeper that could possibly sneak his way onto the team. I think caught every pass but one that's come his way during team drills. Like, he looks solid. He's gotten banged up twice out here, so I think health maybe is a thing for him. But look, I feel there are things out here that I feel better about. 10 days in, I feel a little bit better about the idea of the weapons. I see a way of them, getting by with what they have. I think the secondary is better than I thought it was going to be. We'll see in these games, though, like, is the inflation and the good feels on defense about the offense, or is the defense actually, over exceeding expectations? I think that's what we're going to find out on Sunday.
All right, last one for you here, Nick. The thing I did notice on the practice I went to, I was watching 101s, pass protection and routes with the running backs on the linebackers, and I thought the running backs had a really good day. It wasn't just AK. Clyde had a really good pass protection, a couple of reps. Cam Akers as well. Clyde got open on a route and beat Stutzman. I believe it was on an angle route, and they had a good day. The only one that didn't have a good day was Kendra Miller. He got pushed around a little bit in 101 pass protection. The routes were okay, but like, what's his development? Was it just like, I caught him on a bad day? Is he developing? Is he somebody that you think the Saints can count on? Because, like, you've got some veterans in that room now behind AK that if he's not ready, they'll just continue to pass him up.
No, I think that's probably a fair synopsis of the camp as a whole. He got pulled off the field one day for lining up wrong. So, I mean, that's the stuff we saw last year too. It's everything around running the ball that kind of has to come into shape. Yeah. I think he's been a little bit more solid than previous years, but there's definitely still work to do there. And I still, like, man, when he carries the ball, though, like, you don't have to look to see who it is. Like, you notice him, he catches your eye. It isn't what guy is that. Like, he moves different. He's built different. I still think there's, like, huge upside there, but he's got to get everything else right to have a chance to harvest it fully. That group, I do think right now, if you ask me to do the depth chart, I go Alvin, Kendre, and Bayless Jones, I think, is the three that are in, and I think Clyde, Neal, and Akers are kind of fighting for that other spot. We'll see how it goes. Could change, but that's where it's at. Oh, and my other bright spot, since it's a lecture that I'm Mr. Negative. I feel better about Trevor Penning going through this camp too. Like, I'm starting to get sold a little bit, and I feel like I'm going to regret saying that today, because we're going to come on here Tuesday and it's going to be like, Nick, he got blown away on 2 plays. Like, so I'm reluctant to say it, but it's what I believe in this moment.
No, I have heard multiple people that have been at camp say the same thing about Trevor Penning, and it does feel like he is so much better when he's not on an island, and his style of play just feels like interior vibes, and he can be more aggressive. And so you're certainly not the only person to say that. And we're looking forward to watching the preseason. Saints and Chargers coming up here. Looking forward to breaking that down. Nick, you're the man. We appreciate you joining us. And, hey, when you take that lap, just make it a long lap, tardiness. I mean, that's what Les used to always tell us. Take a lap. Make it a long lap.
All right, I'll do it. I got you.
All right, Nick, we appreciate it, brother.